John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Al-Kebulan village, where each one reach one, each one teach one brick, one building, one block at a time. As we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We show that we care by the things that we do. And today, I hope all is well. I hope parents, you're not breaking the bank for those kids for Easter, because it's only for one day. There's a reason for the season. And the season and the reason is Jesus. And if it had not been for him, who is on our side, where would we be? I just thank God today for being here in the land of the living, as well as here with my brother. Both of us still here trying to make a difference, trying to make some changes in our lives, trying to make better decisions. They're trying to make those decisions, as you often hear me say, the good for me decisions rather than good to me decisions. And once again, as usual, I just like to focus on helping and building one another, and as well as relationships. And relationships goes deeper than just a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, uh, two amigos like me and my brother right here. It's deeper than that. It's just being able to meet the need and whatever the need might be, trying to lift one another up and then help one another. Uh, just not too long ago, my brother here and I was just sitting down and we were just talking. And I told the story about my brother George Beverly at his funeral. And I spoke, and George was a very interesting young man. He had a lot of talents, but he was into a lot of things as well. And sometimes they was good, sometimes they was bad, and always different. But I asked a question, am I my brother's keeper? And I responded to the question that I asked as if I had 1,000 pound sack of cement on my shoulder, pushed down. Yes, I am. The load was heavy and hard, but yet and still I am my brother's keeper. You are your brothers and sisters' keeper. And through our relationships, like I say, family, husband, wives, it's very important that we take each other into consideration. It's more than just us in the relationship, and our relationship affects more than just us, more than just you, more than just I, more than others. You have in a marriage, in some cases, husband and wives with children's, that relationship don't only just affects the husband and wife, but it affects the children's as well. And those children watches you. They watches dad, they watches mama, they watch what she do, they watches what he does, how they work together or not. And what we are actually doing, and those kids are like sponges. They're soaking up stuff. They a lot of times we wonder why a child don't say a lot. In a lot of cases, they're not saying much because they're soaking up, they're learning, they picking up good habits or bad ones. They watching and seeing how you treat their mother or how the boyfriend is treating his girlfriend. They're watching how the girlfriend or the wife is treating their significant other. They also watches how you treat them. And we have to be careful, even when we're dealing with our children, how we treat them, the sisters and brothers. You always want to treat them and give them the same kind of love that you give the other. You don't want it to be misunderstood that you care more about one than you do the other. I have children and I have grandchildren, and I often tell them, I say, yeah, you all are daddies and granddaddies, babies. I say, and I love you all, and I love you dearly, and I love hard. And often I let them know how much they are loved, and that no matter what, that they are being loved by their grandmom and granddaddy and their mother and their father and their sisters and brothers. If they're not being loved by nobody else, you don't have to look for love in all the wrong places, because you have enough of family to be that crutch for you, to be there for you, to help meet the needs, that you can go to your mom and daddy or your granddaddy or your grandmother and ask questions. You shouldn't be afraid to ask questions, because we don't know everything. I don't know everything. The wife don't know everything. Your mom and dad don't know everything. And we are also learning daily ourselves. So I just want to say to each and every one of you, practice being careful how you communicate, how you talk to one another, how you lift each other up, how you love on one another. Make sure those kids see that you love their mother, that granddaddy loves grandmama, grandmama loves granddaddy, mama loves daddy, and the children. Make sure that you practice and show that love, because I mean, we don't have time to be trying to figure out, oh, I wonder, do he love me? He don't act like he love me. But if you don't say anything, it should be able and notice enough just by things that you do that you are being loved. And when I say that, you show love. Love is action. You don't, like my father, and I would say sometimes, I love you, I love you, I love you. But all of that, I love you, I love you, I love you got to show some signs. You got to show me that love. I mean, anybody can say it, but you got to show me. Show me what you're talking about. Show me what you're working with. If you're working with love, show it to me. Bring me some flowers home every now and then. Mom, Daddy likes fried chicken every now and then, or fried pork chops, or some oxtails, and greens, whatever it is. Dad, Mama be there cooking all the time. So, every now and then she like to go out to dinner. So every now and then surprise her, call up and let her know, okay, baby, I know you fixed dinner already, but I want to take you out today. Do those kind of things. And not only, like I say, my brother here, he know that I love him because of the things that I do. He don't have to wonder about it. He don't have to, me and John is cool, and I wonder how he really feel about me. Well, I have a brotherly love for this man. I love him just as much as I love myself. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for myself that I would not be afraid or have a problem with trying to do or help him do for himself. And on that note, I'm going to share some of this time with him and give him a chance to say something, because he's a wise old dude. He try to act like he don't know too much, but that's why I like to have him on here with me. Especially, I don't find out now through the years that he been holding back, and people need to know some of this stuff.
Well, all I can say is this is my brother from another mother, and that is something that is just not a word. When you say certain things, it's like when he's talking about the family and the relationship with the children. It was always, don't do like I do like I tell you to do. Well, that's a good saying, but children watch what you do, and they will pick up some bad habits if you got bad habits that you practice in front of them. You don't want them to smoke, don't smoke. If you want them to be studious, let them see you reading. Let them see you with a book in your hand. Let them see that what is important to you. They think Well, that was important to my dad. There got to be something about it. So I better start checking out why he got this book in his hand. And your children are subject to a whole lot of influences outside the home. And you can't control that. But what you do inside your home, they're watching you, they're hearing you, they see and they feel. So you got to put that atmosphere around them of love, respect in your home. And they will learn to do that with each other, your family members. And like this brother here, he's like my baby brother. I lost my baby brother some years back, but when I looked at the time that I had growing up in my teenage years, when I got about 19 years old, got drafted by the military, I looked at my younger brother and I looked at my brother next to me and I said, well, I don't want to go, but I go over there, and while I'm over there, they can't send them over there while I'm over there. So I would take that weight being the oldest. And like, that's showing the love in a special way that they wouldn't even realize what I was doing. And I didn't really want to go because there was too many people coming back in body bags. So I just said, well, that be my fate. That's the chance I got to take. And my father told me I had a 50-50 chance because he told me, he said if it was left up to him, he'd go to Canada. I said, well, I don't feel like running to Canada. I don't know nobody over there. But he said, I can't tell you what to do. That's your life ahead of you. But you got a 50-50 chance. And I took that chance. But I took it for a reason. I didn't just take it because I'm shooting craps trying to get lucky. I said, well, my brother next to me and my baby brother coming behind me, if while I'm over there and they had this so-called rule or act or law, what they call the Sullivan Act, that two brothers couldn't be in the same combat zone. Now, while I would be in that combat zone for 13 months, they can get drafted, but they couldn't send them in a combat zone while I was over there. So I'm looking out to try and put a buffer in between my brothers and the military to say you can't override your own law and subject them to danger and put the whole family in danger. Because if you ever heard, the Sullivan Act was created by a family of brothers who all was on the same ship in the Navy. Ship got torpedoed and they all went down, they all drowned. The mother and the father said, they lost their whole future with them boys. So some kind of way Congress got together, the senators and everybody, she protested enough to get this act invoked on military, that you can't take the same family members and put them in a dangerous zone. So that building that kind of relationship based on what you feel for your brothers, your sisters, your father, your mother, your uncles and your aunts. Some days you just have to step up and stop being a child. And when you're in a manly position and you becoming a man, you do manly things. And that you got to show that to the children. You just can't let your children see you doing all kind of unnecessary stuff, smoking, drinking, and falling out, because they're going to think it's acceptable. And they may not say nothing or understand it right then and there, but they are watching that it's going into the back of their mind, it's being recorded in their brain. And one day they're going to say, well, it was all right for dad. I guess I can do it. So building a relationship, build a solid relationship. Build one based on trust, based on respect, and based on honor. Honor your mother and your father, for your days will be long. And I don't want to, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a saint, but I respect those that practice what they preach. And that's part of the problem. Most people say things that don't really mean. So what you speak out your mouth, you're going to be held accountable. Your children are listening. So give them some facts, some truth, and some love. Let them build on that. I don't want to get too carried away, but you guys have a beautiful holiday, and pray for those in your family that done fell by the wayside. Help those that you can. Pray for those that you can't. That's my day for the day.
Well, thank you, Alapiaka. I appreciate you. And as you were speaking, I was also thinking about the families as well. We have to learn how to collaborate with one another, how to cooperate with one another, how to not always think that things supposed to be our way. We have to compromise a little bit. So we have to give and take. So on that note, let's compromise with one another. Remember, there's a husband and a wife, there's children, and sometimes you have to give a little bit to get a little bit. So let's work with one another and continue to love on one another. Thank you for listening to John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Al-Kebulan village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show by the things that we do. Thank you and have a great day.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience.
Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience. I want you to tune in to licmc.net radio every Saturday at 3 o'clock p.m. Also, watch Comcast Xfinity every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Also, with my friends at the Al-Kebulan Village. My newest news is I have a channel on stream.com/London TV Net. 24/7 live streamed TV networks. The name of my station is John B TV. And remember, this is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience.
Al-Kebulan Village presents youth field trip events Fridays 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. ages 5 to 17. $10 per person. Minimum 10, max 15. Saturdays and Sundays 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. $200. Minimum 10, max 15. Includes a Al-Kebulan special, hot dogs, chips, and punch. Al-Kebulan Village's activities and amenities: air hockey, pool table, table games, video games, foosball, karaoke, movies, TV, cafe. Located at 7701 Harbor Avenue in Detroit, Michigan, 48213. For more information or to schedule, call 313-921-1616, 313-921-1616. Credit cards, checks, cash apps, and Zelle accepted. It's our pleasure to serve you. Culinary pleasure. Have your next social event here at Al-Kebulan Village. Recreation, Entrepreneur Cafe, Culinary Pleasure, Recreation, Education, Culture. For more information, call 313-921-1616, 313-921-1616.
Hello, everyone. This is John Bevery, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Al-Kebulan Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I'm also sharing today with my main man and brother, Elder Piaki.
How you all doing out there? Hope the snow don't have you snowed in.
Today, we hope that we might be able to share some information that hopefully someone will be able to use. You know, I'm always talking about collaborating and working with one another. Last Sunday, we celebrated here at the village our 46-year anniversary. And we didn't make it, and we didn't happen to get here by ourselves, but this comes from collaborating and working with others. Remember, always cooperation makes good business. And when you're working with a host of other people, that becomes the part where we often talk about each one reach one. So what we try to do is reach and help meet the needs of others. And, you know, by collaborating with one another, when somebody else is doing something, you show your support. And when you got a host of enough people that's doing different things throughout the city, and you're showing your support. So when one is doing something, excuse me, and everyone else begin to show their support, that makes it even greater than it was. Because in being a leader, you know, and doing different things, you know, you can't do it by yourself. My father often, you know, he bless his heart, and I appreciate him so much. And you often hear me speak about him because I don't ever want to forget where I come from. I don't want to forget my teaching. I want to make sure that I often remember and recognize him and lift him up and let people know where I got most of my education, as well as the knowledge and teaching me how to work with people, you know. And he often used to say cooperation makes good business. And I've adopted that, and just about everywhere I go, people know me from one of the things is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And showing that we care is by the collaborating and cooperating with one another when someone is doing something. And like I said, last week we shared, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this program, the Al-Kebulan Village. You know, I was doing things back in the late mid 70s. I was hustling what they call, you know, out of the trunk of my car, selling little T-shirts and hats and caps and different little things, sunglasses. But as I often say, my story is from which I came. I tell people, you know, we had to come from somewhere. We know where we come from, but you don't know where you're going. But if you stay focused and you have a dream and you aiming, remember, I'm always talking about that dream. And I keep talking about that dream because I don't want you to forget about your dream, because all of us have a dream. All of us want something out of life, and you can't get it if you drop it. If you don't, I mean, you don't have to tell nobody about it, but you can be about it yourself. And as I often say, Rome wasn't built overnight. And as well as we were celebrating here, we also had a service for my brother on last Sunday, and I got a chance to speak on that panel. And my title and the subject that I spoke on is being thankful and praising God, just thanking Him and appreciating Him for what He has done in my life. Because I've been blessed, like I often say, to be here now for 71 years. A whole lot of people can't say that. A lot of people, they can't say it because they're not here to say it. But as long as we're here, we have a chance to do something. We have a chance to make a difference. We have a chance to change our lives. Uh, we can't correct the mistakes that we have made in life, but we don't have to keep making the same mistakes that we have made in life. And I tell people, a lot of things I did in my past that I'm not so proud of, but I thank God that I wised up and learned better and learned how to do better and began to focus on more positive things in life. And I like to share a little experience, and because a lot of time people have a tendency to think that they are the only one that's going through something. You're not the only one. And in some cases, the only one that have these different certain situations where you're not the only one that have these certain situations. I experienced, lost my driving license. I had to pay what they call driving responsibility fees and all that kind of stuff. Well, there was a time that it appeared that I wasn't going to go ahead and get that, be able to get out of that hole. And then, like I never was going to be able to climb out of that hole, and I almost gave up. But that's the thing, almost gave up. The thing is, I didn't give up. I kept hope alive. I kept focusing. My mom and dad would always tell me, you can do it. You can make it. But you have to put forth an effort to make it, put forth an effort to do it. And as long as we are doing that, we stand a chance. So I often tell people, keep hope alive and don't ever give up. Just don't nobody see your dream but you. Even with losing my driving license, I didn't have the money to pay that lump sum at one time, but what I did do, I went down to that court and I made arrangements to make payments. And you may not be able to pay what you want to pay, but you do the best that you can and pay what you can pay. And by doing so, eventually, it took me about 3 years to get all that stuff together. And I thought I would never, come up out of that hole. But at this time, I'm going to step out for a few moments, and I'm going to let Brother Piaki have a few words.
All right. And listening to what he said about mistakes, we all make them. And some you make, you survive, and some you make, you don't. I like to say this to the young ones. You don't get old without learning. Because if you don't learn from your mistakes, you will never get old. Because you keep making the same ones over and over and over. And one day, that mistake, depending on how dangerous or how serious it may take you out of here. So I could remember when I was a bad little kid and I thought I was slick. All my buddies steal a car, but I had my little driver's permit, so everybody thought I could drive because I had a driver's permit. I would drive it knowing that it was a stolen car, but I was lucky didn't get caught in it. And told all my friends, do not mess with a Cadillac. Don't mess with nobody's expensive car, because back then, if you was paying them kind of car notes, you was starving. And if somebody stole your ride and you still got to pay that note, if you caught up with the person that was breaking into your car, then you were there something serious to them. And watching some of my friends take all those unnecessary chances, I gave it up. I say it's a time you got to know when to hold. What they say, know when to hold them and know when to fold. So you don't want to take unnecessary chances with your life, and you're gonna make mistakes because you learn from them. But you don't learn if you're making the same mistake over and over and over. And one time is enough to know when I can hear them grandmamas when they had them old hot pot belly stoves in the kitchen, they be red hot, and they tell them grandkids stay away from that stove. And all of a sudden you hear one holler, oh, he didn't listen. Touch that hot stove. So just like that, it might sound funny, but it's serious. Is learning is a process. And once you learn from your mistakes, you can pass that knowledge on to those that come behind you, and hopefully they'll learn without having to make the mistake. Talking about health too, with your elderly, getting up in age. At one time, they were all young, just like the youth. But if the youth don't take care of their health, they will never get old, because your health will take you away from here quicker than anything else. And you see all this medicines out here that people say you got to get herbal this and herbal that. Well, some things herbal not gonna handle with what they putting out here in this atmosphere today. So chemicals that's in the water, the air, the earth. You got to be conscious of your food you eat. You got to be conscious of the things that you take into your body. Smoking is definitely one serious problem. Don't smoke none if you don't have to. Now, that marijuana, yeah, it's legal now. I remember when a time a guy get 20 years for one stick of marijuana. But now people can make tax money off of it, so it's legal. But it's still smoke. It would damage your lungs. You get too carried away with smoking anything. I want to say it's not about money. It's about your health. If you don't have no health, you can have all the money in the world, and it's not going to help you. So I could give you a little small suggestion. If you got a internet, go online, look up a water filter. Something simple as a water filter for your kitchen, so you filter out those heavy metals that's in your water, because we don't know what they putting in these what kind of chemicals they putting in this atmosphere or in this environment. But you could take some precautions to try and kind of alleviate some of that problem that will probably, it might not show up while you're young, but it definitely will stay in your system and show up when you get old. Your eyesight, your breathing, your kidneys, all of that, you need to take care of what you're taking into your system that may damage them. And get a water filter for your kitchen, get one that'll take out heavy metals, at least two type of heavy metals like lead and that calcium or whatever. You don't want that building up in your system over a period of time either. And bottled water, now they're talking about all the plastic, microplastics, all of this pollution. Well, it's in here, it's in the atmosphere, so just don't do anything excess. Try and filter your water as much as you can to clean the water, because that's one thing everybody on this planet needs. And if you're gonna take an excess amount of it, make sure you filter it. And hope that you can make it to a certain age, like me and my brother here. he's the younger brother, so you know where I'm at. But
Blessed.
yeah, I'm blessed. I mean, I survived a lot of crazy stuff. Vietnam was one, and I know there's a God because I didn't make it through there on my own, not with all them bullets flying around my head. So I'm just saying this to the brothers and sisters out there. Love each other, love your family, love those you're close to. Stay in touch with as many of them as you can, and hope that you can give them some information that'll help them go into the future. And I don't have too much more to say, and I'll turn this back over to my brother.
Thank you, Al-Kebulan. I appreciate you sharing all those words of wisdom. But equally as well, I often tell people, love yourself. You should love yourself more than anybody. Love yourself like your mom and your dad love on you. You know, why is it that people have a tendency to love you more than you love your own self? If people care enough about you to tell you what's right from wrong, that lets you know that they care about you, because you know they can look at you and see you hurting yourself and doing things to yourself and don't have to be bothered with, I'm grown, you trying to tell me what to do. We don't be wanting to hear all of that, but we take the time out and share and try to let you know that we care about you and that you should be making better decisions, knowing that you're going to get mad with us, you're going to get upset with us, you're going to tell us you don't want to hear it, but love yourself as much as we love you. If you love yourself and knowing, think about it. If a bottle says poison and you know that it's poison, you're not just going to pick it up and drink it. Well, it may not say it, but what it boils down to, liquor, beer, wine, liquor, and all this different stuff, is poison. And there's so many people that's drinking themselves to death. It messes up your liver, it messes up your kidneys, it messes up a host of things in your body. So what we want you to do is love yourself enough to do something. You know, like Elder Piaki was mentioning about the smoke, the cigarettes, they got vaping out here now. You know, all of this stuff. That vape is equivalent to one little old vial. I think they say is equivalent to about a whole one pack or 2 packs of cigarettes. And based upon that, when you look at that kind of situation and you smoke one and you drink, you know, you're drinking and you're smoking, you're just putting poison in your body. So think enough of yourself. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. All I'm trying to do is help you open your eyes and take a good look at yourself. Sometimes we just need to say, I think it was Michael Jackson sung a song, take a look at the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
Sometimes just go in there and stand in the mirror and look at yourself and think about the different things that you have done in your life, the decisions that you have made in your life. And as you often hear me say, good to me, but not good for me. So let's start making the good for me decisions, not just the good to me. Elder Piaki, anything else you'd like to say?
One thing about that man in the mirror, you can't tell that man in the mirror that lie. You know that man in the mirror know you better than you know yourself. So be as honest with yourself that you can be, even if you don't like what you feel when you come away from the mirror. Be true to yourself.
Yep. So let's just keep it real. You can fool us, but you can't fool yourself. So we just want to thank you today for listening to John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, over here at the Al-Kebulan village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. Elder Piaki and I just want you guys to know that we appreciate you, and we show that we care about the things that we say and do. Have a great day.
Stay safe out there.
John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
Why I Didn't Get Married, audiobook and Spotify special, now playing. Listen now.
Visit cbstvmedia.com/single-christian-girl. Thank you. Body and Soul by London Doris Harris Washington Health and Wellness Booklet. Get your copy online today.
go to londondoris.gumroad.com/l/cziom or email londendoris@gmail.com.
Yup, this your boy, Sham the Rockstar, and I stay locked in with LICMC.net.
Do you need to get the word out? Well, you found the way right here at LDWC Enterprise, your media mogul place for community, business ministry, entertainment, and more. Share your message, inspiration, talents, gifts, visions globally and locally.
You could choose what you want. Just give us a call at 248-701-0885.
That's 248-701-0885. We are the team moving forward together.
Check out the new TV network brought to you by LICMC and LDWC Enterprises. It's strim.com/London. That's strim.com/London. There you'll find the TV network. We have multiple channels on there you can check out for whatever you're interested in. That's strim.com/London. You can connect with us. You can get your channel. And we have one flat rate, always great deals. So connect with us here at email licmc.netradio@gmail.com or call London at 248-701-0885. That's 248-701-0885. Thank you for watching. Hi everyone, join me and my friends at CBiz Media. You'll see great music videos, indie artists, and you have opportunity to join us as well at CBiz Media. Right guys?
Right.